Hi, my name is Sylvie. I am a certified health coach and fitness trainer, and today we're going to be talking about perimenopause and diet. We're going to address why it's so easy to gain weight during perimenopause. We're going to talk about how to get rid of that belly fat that seems to want to accumulate during perimenopause. I'm going to give you a 5-day diet plan to help you get rid of your belly fat. And lastly, we're going to look at intermittent fasting and how to pick the best intermittent fasting method for women who are in perimenopause. So let's get started with why do we gain weight so easily during perimenopause? I mean, it's never easy to lose weight. Many women struggle with losing weight for most of their lives. But during perimenopause, particularly around the age of 40, most women will notice that it gets even more difficult, that maybe even if they hadn't been struggling much before, at around 40, things change and it gets a lot harder. I know that when I turned 40, I had to feel hungry just not to gain weight. So like losing weight felt like this impossible accomplishment. There's a few things that may come into play, obviously. Here, I just want to address what I think is the main one, and it's insulin resistance. As we get older, our body doesn't function as optimally, and one of the main issues that women over 40 will encounter is insulin resistance. Insulin resistance will make you want to eat more. It'll make you crave foods that are calorie dense, and also it'll make your body accumulate more belly fat. Which brings us to the next segment of this video, getting rid of the belly fat. So getting rid of your belly fat and improving your insulin sensitivity will go hand in hand. In this case, we often hear that you cannot spot reduce fat. If you want to lose fat in a specific part of your body, you'll have to lose fat all over your body. And that is definitely true. However, belly fat, since it has that connection with insulin sensitivity, if you improve your insulin sensitivity, you may actually be able to notice that you decrease the amount of fat that you carry in your belly. I've experienced it myself, as you can see in those pictures, and that was the first time I did a modified fast, a 5-day modified fast, even though I did not lose weight technically. I mean, I lost weight during the 5-day period, but then I gained it all back. I did not gain the belly fat back. My belly remained flat, which was really great. So let me tell you a bit more about that 5-day modified fast. I mean, if you've watched my videos before, you probably know what a 5-day modified fast is, so I'll go over that very quickly. And you can always check the link in the description, which is the link to my blog post, and you'll find a lot more information, other links you can check out if you want to learn more. But just to summarize, a 5-day modified fast is a way to unleash the power of fasting, which is amazing to heal your body through a process called autophagy. So what you do during this 5-day fast is that you gain those benefits of a prolonged fast, but you still get to eat some foods. You get to eat about 40% your regular calorie intake. And during that 5-day period, you have to eat only plant-based, and you have to follow a specific macronutrient ratio. Now, there's various ways you can go about doing this 5-day modified fast. One of them is to purchase what is called a prolonged kit. The prolonged kit is all packaged up for you. You received all your foods for the 5-day period, and you just eat that. Or you can go DIY, which is what I've done, and that's why I have so many meal plans on my website, and you can check those meal plans and create your own delicious foods. I also have a Facebook community where we have gone through a modified fast together before. Again, I want to encourage you to just check the blog post to get all your information, the links to all my meal plans and everything else. Now, as far as the best diet for perimenopause, what is the best diet for perimenopause? Well, I mean, there's no single best diet at any age, and certainly that doesn't change during perimenopause. Each of us is very unique. And some of us will thrive on the keto diet, some of us will thrive on the vegan diet, some will just thrive on whole foods. And I've tried pretty much all the diets under the sun over the last 20 years or so. And I've also noticed that a diet that works well at a certain time may not work so well at another time. In the spring, I often gravitate towards a more vegan diet filled with green juices and salads and raw foods, where in the dead of winter, I want warm stews, more meat and protein. And so it's very important also to be conscious of what your body needs and listen to the different cues that it may be sending you. And that's one reason I love intermittent fasting. And that's why I think intermittent fasting is probably the best way to reach your weight loss and health goals in general in perimenopause, and as well as before and after perimenopause. We often hear that intermittent fasting is bad for women, it will wreck your hormones, and I don't believe that to be true. There's so many methods, there's so many intermittent fasting methods that you're sure to find one that will benefit you. Recently, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine online, and she was telling me her story about how intermittent fasting was not for her. She used to practice it and she became very miserable, and she ended up stopping. She was saying that it was like a huge weight was taken off her shoulders, and she was very happy, although she had gained a lot of weight, but she preferred that over feeling so miserable and making people around her miserable. And certainly I can understand that, and my job is not to evangelize people about the health benefits of intermittent fasting. So I just said, great, good for you. You know your priorities, you know how to listen to your body, and you did what you thought was right. But I do want to share with you, since you are watching this video and you may experience something like that, I want you to know ahead of time, if you find that an intermittent fasting method is making you miserable, well, there's other options, there's other ways to practice this, and that's what we'll be talking about in this section. When fasting is making you miserable, that is a definite sign that your body is very glucose dependent, and that's actually one of the things that we want to heal through intermittent fasting. We want you to be metabolically flexible, to feel great, whether your body is using glucose, whether your body is using ketones, and that takes time. That may require some experimenting. One of the main things that is important to realize is that intermittent fasting is not about skipping breakfast, and that actually, if your definition of intermittent fasting is skipping breakfast, that's probably why it won't work for you. Most women will find that they need a longer fasting window for one. So just skipping breakfast is typically a 16-hour fasting window. But most women will require at least 18 hours, preferably 20 hours. And on top of that, not fasting every single day will be very helpful as well for most women. As you practice, as you experiment, you may find that you can fast more days with more experience. But at first, I don't recommend going for like more than 4 days a week. After doing my first 5-day modified fast, I started experimenting with 1 or 2 24-hour fasts a week. And that's actually a great way to get started. And then you get the rest of the week to just eat your 3 meals a day, eat the way you normally eat. And that really helps make you feel like you're enjoying food freedom, like you're not too deprived. And you're still gonna benefit from the tremendous healing that happens when you fast. You'll be improving your insulin sensitivity, and then gradually you'll be able to fast longer, more frequently, and you will notice that your cravings decrease. So that's why my favorite intermittent fasting methods, particularly for women in perimenopause, are the Eat Stop Eat method, which is 1 or 2 24-hour fasts a week, the Warrior Diet, which is the one that helped me lose 30 pounds after 40, and that requires you to fast for 20 hours, 4 or 5 days a week, or the 5-2 method. The 5-2 method is also a method that you do only 2 days a week, but during those 2 days, you're not fasting completely, you're having 500 calories. But really, since the most important thing regarding diet in perimenopause is to make sure that you teach your body to be metabolically flexible, it is quite helpful when you experiment with intermittent fasting to measure your ketones and make sure that you get deep enough in ketosis to enjoy those benefits and teach your body to use ketones as opposed to glucose to function. And to do so, a ketone monitor is very helpful. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to get a specific recommendation for a ketone monitor. And that's it. When it comes to diet in perimenopause, the main 2 things I would recommend is to do a 5-day modified fast, and you can do that once a year. That's enough. Maybe the first time you do it twice this first year, but otherwise it's not something that you have to do super often. And then teach your body to be metabolically flexible by using fasting as a tool, and eat whole foods. Listen to your body. As long as you're making sure it's getting plenty of nutrient-dense foods, it really shouldn't matter that much exactly what type of diet you are on. I hope you found this video useful, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for watching.